Happy Thanksgiving weekend from all of us here at News 9. Representative Ryan Martinez, Representative Ajay Pittman. So good to have the millennial dream team here this morning and the old guy. So listen, Representative Martinez, this last week and Representative Pittman, there were some really bad scores about Oklahoma health. We're like, it's bad, bad, bad. One of those was the Pandemic Center, which looks like from the data I'm seeing, we're last in the country. You didn't want it to go there in the first place. What are you going to do about this?
Yeah, so, you know, it's interesting because Oklahoma is, I'm pretty sure, the only state that has a pandemic center. What happened with the pandemic center is we also moved the state health lab from Oklahoma City and the complex to here in Oklahoma, which has all the medical stuff. You have Oklahoma Medical Research Foundation, OU Health, all these great things going on. And the governor unilaterally decided to move that lab to Stillwater. Now, I ran a bill last session to try to slow that down. Let's have a conversation and make sure we do this the right way. It's clear that we got in a hurry and things weren't done as effectively and properly as they should be. So I'm saying that we review what's going on there and make sure we get things up to par.
Reminder why always this weekend I give thanks for West Virginia and Mississippi, because they're the only ones keeping us off the bottom.
Absolutely, absolutely. West Virginia and Mississippi are in the bottom states just like we are, and like Representative Martinez said, they moved this lab from House District 99 that houses the whole medical community. Yes, I'm a little partial, but we know that the historical health communities, the experts, the workers, everyone who comes to do major healthcare studies and research, they come to House District 99. The center should have been there, and we should have been included. We should have had a say-so at the table, especially those of us who represent the least healthiest zip codes.
Some real good agencies down there in House District 9 for real. Okay, one of the things that happened up is flared up again is this disagreement between the legislature and the governor over Medicaid managed care. It's happening again. Our numbers, again, not very good. Are we going to get this resolved?
It dominated the topic of last legislative session. I think we're not finished with the topic. We're going in to this legislative session talking about managed care, Medicaid expansion. We know Medicaid expansion is going to do wonders. However, it frustrates me that those of us who represent a large population of the Medicaid expansion population are not represented at the table. We know that COVID-19 wreaked havoc over communities of color this past year. We should be at the table talking about solutions for our community, whether it's with a managed care company or with the healthcare authority. We need to be included.
And so this is a little inside baseball here. It's not just Democrats versus the governor. The Republican leadership in both houses have had disagreements with the governor over this issue.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's Medicaid expansion is coming. It's here. We're getting the dollars. I think the goal is to make sure that those dollars are spent most effectively and where we're actually helping Oklahomans that need that help. I think that you're starting to see this view of healthcare that matters. We're looking at the whole person, right? Whether that be diet, exercise. Oklahoma has a really high tobacco use rate. That's something that affects our health in a big way. There are still food deserts in this state, and we also need to have a good conversation about access to clean, healthy, affordable food. And I think that's something that is going to be in the conversation with those dollars as we move forward.
All right, let's talk about those dollars coming up. That infrastructure money coming to Oklahoma, could it be helping out with these bad scores? We'll be right back. Uplifting the first segment about the health problems in Oklahoma. You know, the infrastructure bill passed, and our entire delegation voted against it, but they sent somebody from Oklahoma up there the other day. Take a look at this. There's a person from Oklahoma at the bill signing. Look at that. She's there right in front of that south portico. And Representative Pittman, you were there for the signing of the infrastructure bill. First off, what were you doing there? That sounds like a fun trip. Number two, could some of this infrastructure money help us on some of the issues we're facing?
Absolutely. So I was there. I was fortunate enough to be invited by the Biden-Harris administration. I was fortunate enough to be a Biden surrogate during their election year, and we have maintained contact, and we're excited to support this infrastructure bill and this infrastructure plan, along with the Build Back Better plan. And yes, some of that money will come to Oklahoma. It will do our transportation. It will better infrastructure. We talk about climate change and air pollution. That money is coming to Oklahoma, and we're going to see millions of dollars from it.
Okay, so it's headed over to the Senate. The Democrats have to get it past Prime Minister Joe Manchin. We'll see what happens there. But Representative Martinez, this is some big money, but you know, you're right in the middle of this health care discussion. Is this going to help?
So, you know, I'm still waiting for my invitation from the Biden administration to be invited up to the White House. I didn't see that, so I'll check my mail. I know that the Postal Service is not as good as it once was. But anyway, you know, absolutely. I think that there is an intersection of public health and a lot of different infrastructure needs. Right now, a lot of things are being done in the field of telemedicine. Yeah. You know, you have people that might be in a rural area that is hard to maybe get to a doctor physically. But if we can build out our high-speed internet and give people the opportunity to do that, I think that using technology to see a primary care physician for medical needs is something that's huge and something that those dollars can absolutely be used for.
Okay, well, this is going to be a great session to, if you're a political junkie, to watch, especially the election coming, how they work all these details out, because our health outcomes in Oklahoma ain't good. No. Apologies to my English teacher. Thanksgiving weekend, Representative Martinez asked both of you, come up with something you want to talk about you think is important. Your turn.
Yeah, so one, obviously just with Thanksgiving happening, just thankful to be an American, thankful to be an Oklahoman. I just wanted to share briefly on something I've been working on for the past couple sessions with alcohol modernization in this state. There's been a conversation about direct shipping of alcohol to people's houses. We need to get that system right. Currently not legal. It's happening. We need to know what's coming into our state and who's receiving it. So I'm working to build out that system to make sure that we're doing that safely, responsibly, and also getting paid the tax dollars that are owed to the state of Oklahoma.
Thank you for that. Representative Pittman?
Well, it is Thanksgiving weekend, but it's also National Native American Heritage Month. So be mindful that Thanksgiving can be a day of mourning for some of your indigenous communities and some of your indigenous people. But some of the things that I'm looking forward to working on is talking about perinatal hospice care. We currently don't have a system where parents can actually go mourn and the loss of their babies at home and get to be parents before their babies pass away. Also, high-speed car chases that are involving law enforcement. We want to make sure we're keeping all our officers as well as our community safe. And those are some of the things I'll be talking about in this upcoming legislative session.
Thanks to my millennial dream team and on behalf of all of us boomers, okay, we'll see you next week. See this again at news9.com/YourVoteCounts. Follow me on Twitter @MitchellTalks.